to take your AR-15, your AK-47. We're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore. Hell yes, hell yes, hell yes. We're going to take your AR-15. Hell yes, your AK-47. Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15.
Oh, hell no.
Hell yes, we're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore.
Well, welcome back to a What the Fuck Wednesday, folks. There has been so much going on today. It's incredible. It's unbelievable, folks, what is happening. Let's get right into it. Number one, questions down below, please. I'm going to do my 30-minute monologue. You guys get to run the second half of the show. And unlike Sunday Night Live, if you're a premium member at the subscribestar.com or at thepreparedmind.club, you can join us here daily live, and your price of admission as a premium member gets you on live with me every day. You don't have to be here, but you can. And we have lots of people who do, and they offer their questions, comments, thoughts, predictions on a daily basis. Now, let's get into what is happening, what SHTF is going on. Yesterday it was released that the FBI had orders to shoot to kill anyone who interfered with the raid at the Mar-a-Lago estate of President Trump. The culprit, I asked the question, who's responsible? Who had the authority? Was it Biden himself? Was it Merrick Garland? Was it Christopher Wray, head of the FBI? Well, it turns out it was Merrick Garland. The Attorney General for the United States approved the use of deadly force during the Mar-a-Lago raid. And he went further than that, folks. He went further than that. Hold on to your potatoes, because I'm going to share with you what was going on. They anticipated, and I would go so far as to say that the left, the Democrats, the president, Merrick Garland, the FBI agents, Christopher Wray, James Comey, Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, I bet they were all praying for somebody to interfere. Merrick Garland hoped for it, wanted it. He even made plans for casualties, meaning injuries and deaths. They brought a medic, and they handed out directions and instructions to local trauma centers. Folks, the agents that were there to raid, they were armed with fully automatic submachine guns to raid a home that was protected by United States Secret Service agents who were charged with protecting the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and his family. The agents were at a 100% alert level for any interference, folks, interference that could justify their shoot-to-kill orders. This is frightening, folks, frightening. It's not being denied. Not a bit. There is no denial that this is a fact. It's a fact. This is part of a greater conspiracy and a greater coup d'etat, folks. It's part of a greater conspiracy. I'm shocked. At the same time, what do you do, right? This has all been about stealing the presidency from the people of the United States, from the election fraud at the local levels in swing states where they had the most power and the most people in place: Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota. They went to places where they had the most power and authority to do this, and they pulled it off. And then treason, folks. Treason was in the air. Michael Pence, take a bow. And since then, since they stole the election, they've gone after and tried politically, socially, economically, and in all ways assassinating the character and human Donald J. Trump. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez opened her big horse teeth ridden mouth today. And she essentially revealed that the Democrats' efforts to get Trump through court cases, however frivolous, however ridiculous, however asinine, it was designed to obstruct. And this is what she admitted to. Obstruct the presidential campaign. And she likened it to an electronic ankle monitor. That's what the Democrats are doing in an effort to stop Trump. This is fucking beyond treason, folks. This is a takeover of the country, and they know it. And you and I, as aware as we are, had no idea that there was this level of coordination, cooperation, and conspiracy. That is why, ever since the 2020 elections, Arizona has obstructed and obstructed and obstructed all investigations. And now they're going after Rudy Giuliani and Trump's attorneys, trying to charge them with crimes for wanting to know what the fuck is going on. How can you have more votes than there are registered people? We've got people coming out and testifying publicly that they put in votes for Trump and they switched them to Biden. This is a fucking crime, folks. It is a crime against America. It is a crime against all of us. And they're admitting it. The reason I'm bringing this up, because this is part and parcel wholly to SHTF and what is to come. Folks, what is to come? What is coming? How big is this? It is incredibly huge. I need to change gears a little bit to calm the fuck down. I need to calm the fuck down a little bit. Let's laugh at Democrats and their idiotic stupidity. But make no mistake, have no doubts. Their ignorance, their stupidity is done in the open because there's no fear of them being called on it or held accountable. Now, remember that crazy bitch in Congress, Crockett, who threw a fit because Marge Taylor Greene mentioned her eyelashes being fake. Well, the dumb bitch, after screaming that she was being racially attacked, that it was racist to mention her eyelashes, she called Marge Taylor Greene, quote, bleach blonde, bad built, butch body. And then today she wants to trademark it, even though it's grammatically incorrect. So it's racist to mention crack it's, instead of Crockett, I'm going to call her crack it. Or how about crack ass? It's racist to mention crack ass's eyelashes. But that ghetto whore can make her own comment with impunity. Her own racist comment, bleach blonde. Those two things refer to white women. And then she called it a butch body. Butch refers to a masculine lesbian. So she called Marge Taylor Greene a racist comment and then slurred the LGB crowd. And that's just fine. It just goes to show you, folks, that we're this far from coming unglued racially, socially, politically, economically, financially, militarily, legally, everything. And by the way, I bet crazy ass crack Crockett. I bet her trademark T-shirts will have misspelled words too, but it would be racist to point out how stupid she is. See, even that story, as funny as it is, pisses me off because I'm just fucking pissed at these people. And this is what they want from us, folks. Do not take the bait. Don't take the hook and get hooked in. That's what they want to do, is they want to piss us off and make us commit a crime, make us make an error. That's what they want. That's what they want. And part of this is this story right here. The FBI has issued a terror alert. Oh, wait, no, this is Biden's FBI. This is Obama's FBI. This is Pelosi's and Chuck Schumer's FBI. They have issued a terror alert warning of an attack on the United States Pride Month events, but they did not mention Islam in this warning of a terror attack. I say grab your AR-15 or your AK. Grab your shotgun, because Joe Biden says get a shotgun. And make sure you've got your popcorn, folks. And wait for the shit show to start. But who, folks, is going to be blamed? Trump? Me? You? Or will ham-ass get blamed? Oh, it's you, ham-ass. The trans terror pig. Hi, everyone. It won't be us that kills all the fruitcakes. Right? Well, you are a tranny pig, aren't you? Indeed I am. I have testicles, but I wear a dress. Well, do you or do you not want these LGB types in your world? Oh, we definitely don't, as a bunch of ham-ass terrorists. Folks, do you think the terrorists love you guys as trans people? Not a bit. That's right, they don't. I am no ventriloquist, folks. I don't have to put words in the pig's mouth. It's coming. It's coming. They're really wanting this to happen. The news media, the politicians, the social engineers, they want conflict this summer. They really, really do. They're going to go after the fruitcakes with their other terrorists, the ham-ass. They're going to bring BLM. I'm expecting this to be a 4-alarm freak of a summer. And I wonder, is Biden going to suffer for this? Or will Biden use this? Will he use this, right, to cancel the elections? Now, we have more documents, folks, that have been unsealed, revealing absolute treason against Trump. Now, let's be real, folks. If it can be proven that Trump won in 2020 through forensic examination of the ballots, that's right, actually proving that it was a legitimate election, and that in the process, you can prove that there was absolute cheating and that the election was stolen. If it can be proven, and people are coming out now and admitting it in Georgia, in Arizona, in Nevada, in North Carolina, all across the country, it's proven, then the actions of Biden, Mike Pence, Pelosi, McCarthy, that's right, folks, Kevin McCarthy, the Attorney General, the FBI, Arizona, Georgia, and other states, Leticia James, Engoron the moron, Fat Ass Fanny, and everyone involved and engaged in conspiracy to steal the election, cover it up, obscure the evidence, attack Trump. All of these people are engaged in a conspiracy to commit treason and depose the real president and the people. Wouldn't that be a hell of a day to learn all that? Folks, America will be on fire over this. I am finding this fascinating. 4 fucking years later, information is still coming out, but there's no prosecutions. There's no admission of what happened. None at all. What do you think America is going to do? Well, maybe Congress will do something, right? Well, maybe the military will do something. Maybe the Supreme Court will do something. Well, let's start with the Department of Justice. Merrick Garland is the one who said, pull your guns, keep them cocked and locked, aim them at anyone who gets near you, and go raid Trump's house. It won't be the Department of Justice or the Attorney General. It won't be the military because Obama removed all conservative generals, got rid of them, and brought in all communist scumbags. And if Trump put any good men into the Pentagon, I'm sure they've been removed in the 4 years of Biden. I mean, who would want to serve in a Pentagon under a man who is a fucking child-groping freak at the very least? An accused sexual assault criminal. No investigation. Right? So it won't be the military that gets rid of this coup d'etat. It won't be Congress, because this is what they do. Nothing. Here's a story to prove it. Well, right now, folks, House Republicans, Congress are accusing Hunter Biden of lying under oath again and again and again in his depositions. Okay, you've caught him. You have evidence. You're accusing him of it, so you must have evidence. So refer this for prosecution, right? Or, yeah, right, because the Attorney General, Department of Justice will do nothing. The FBI will do nothing. The courts will do nothing. The military will do nothing. Nobody's coming to save us. Nobody. So Congress is going to do jack shit too. But, you know, some people have this belief system that they're going to wait and hope for Trump to be elected. And then if he wins, hope for a real attorney general to be appointed. And then hope that the new attorney general prosecutes Hunter Biden. And then hope for them to have a real jury to hear the case. Folks, that's a lot of hope and not a lot of meat on the bone. We are not going to get anything to save this country from what is coming. Even if Trump is arrested, there are plans that are already made. Folks, there were plans made to not let Trump win in 2016. But Hillary was such a shitty candidate. Let me repeat that. Hillary Clinton was such a shitty candidate that she lost, despite the cheating. And from that moment forward, they hamstrung and attacked Trump, called him a Russian asset, said he was a traitor, right? Stonewalled him, lied, cheated, fucked around, and had their cheat system in place for Biden. The least popular candidate to ever run for office got the most votes ever in the 2020 election. Let me say that again. The least popular candidate ever got the most votes ever. How is that fucking possible? Because they cheated so thoroughly after losing in 2016 that they couldn't let it happen again. They couldn't let it happen again. And all through the last 4 years, what have they done? They put themselves in positions to destroy Trump, attack Trump, sue Trump. I'm surprised they haven't tried killing him. Frankly, I'm surprised the assassination attempts haven't happened. Now, I want to ask a question, though. And actually, it was a great question by Wayne Root, who attended Columbia College with, get this, Obama of all people. Right? And the question he asked is, what would happen if President Trump were in office and he ordered an FBI raid on Obama's house, and if Trump authorized the use of deadly force if anyone interfered? What would happen? Would the Democrats lose their fucking minds? Yes. Would they call for an impeachment? Yes. Would they try and call for criminal referrals? Yes, they would. Would they demand the Senate try the case? Oh, you bet, and then some. They would want Trump strung up by his fucking toes as if he were Benito Mussolini at the end of World War II. America would burn to the ground as if a dozen St. George Floyds were killed at once. Right? That's my opinion. It'd be burning to the ground. Can you disagree with that? Do you agree with that? Now, right now, it's SHTF light, folks. But I see the game playing out with violence. Now, here's my options. Here's your options I'm going to present to you. The 2024 election, we go through the summer of love with the Intifada. That is the call for a holy war against America and against Jews and Israel in our country. We've got, that's right, you've got Antifa, right? The anti-fascist, fascist, communist sacks of shit. You've got BLM, the trans black gay organization that has guilted the entire planet into kissing their ass. Those are three big groups right there, folks. All of these anti-American fuckers. Oh, and number 4, all of the illegal immigrants that have snuck in here from the Middle East, South America, Central America, Southeast Asia, Africa, they're all here. 10 million of them, illegals. How many hate this country? We go into the election season. Now, this is all the same scenario I want you a part of. How much trouble will these 4 groups, plus the government and their agents, how much trouble will they cause? Oh, yeah, don't forget about the Patriot Front. The federal goon-looking bunch of white supremacists that seem to get arrested but never get unmasked. In fact, when they get unmasked and they get the shit beat out of them, nothing happens to them. Let's continue. We get through the summer and we actually have 1, 2, 3, who knows how many false flags. But let's assume that the election still happens. The election still happens and Trump wins. The left has already promised us violence, that they believe violence is acceptable. Hell, if Biden wins, I know that violence is acceptable by our side because it'll be from cheating again on a galactically obvious scale. I'm not calling for violence, but I'm saying it certainly will be acceptable in my book because this is where we're at. I think we're here, folks. I think this is how the game plays out. If Trump wins and tries appointing an attorney general who does nothing, how many people is he going to fire? Is he going to get rid of the FBI? What the fuck is Trump going to do? This idea of draining the swamp, like you pull a plug and all the bad guys just fucking go away. They're not going to give up their power, their careers. They're not going to give up because they've committed so many fucking crimes that they could all be locked away forever, if not hung on the spot. And they're going to protect themselves and they're going to protect each other. In other words, if Trump wins, what is he going to do in Washington, D.C.? If he thinks it was hard to get anything done before, how bad do you think it'll be this time? It's not just going to happen, folks. Obama, as powerful as he may be in community organizing Washington, D.C.'s LGBT fruitcake lobbyists, lawyers, and what do they call these people? Staffers. The people who work in Washington, D.C. for the government, staffers, have the best health care, the most money, the best benefits, the best retirement, everything in the whole fucking country. You think they're going to give that up and just go away and be replaced? This country is going to be crippled. And the fighting, folks, has not even begun. It truly hasn't. It hasn't even begun. And I'm just talking about the United States of America. I'm not even talking about what is going on in Europe. They've been continuing to rattle their sabers and talk nuclear war. So Russia said, you know what? Fuck you guys. We're going to do tactical nuclear weapons drills in Ukraine, or rather near Ukraine's border, because they say they need to, quote, counter militant statements by Western officials. That's right, folks. It's saber rattling. Yes. It's an escalation to World War III. Yes. Will Biden need to start a nuclear war if he loses to Trump? Hey, now, left-wing, dick-smoking idiots will call this conspiracy theory. But how right do I have to be, and how often over the last 10 fucking years I've been broadcasting here? 10 years plus now. How many things have we discussed that have been true? Well, COVID was engineered with money from Dr. Fauci. You bet. They are admitting it. They fucking admitted it. The Jim Jones juice was experimental, and there was a bait and switch with the American people, told it passed, but what was given to people in their arms was not. Don't worry, they all signed a fucking waiver, but they're being sued now. But we were told that claiming anything of the sort was a conspiracy theory. It is now fact. There's so many facts out there. The election was fucking stolen. Fact. Cheating on every scale, at every level, has been demonstrated and proven, including the voting machines. They fucking lied and said they weren't online. They were online. We called it. They lied and said they couldn't be hacked. They're easily hacked, and it was demonstrated in a fucking courtroom in Georgia. They said you couldn't switch votes. They proved it could be done. Switching votes was easy. They shut down the vote count in the middle of the night, 1 in. By 5 in, the vote tallies had switched miraculously. Biden won. Conspiracy theory, they said, it's proven to be fact. Fact, fact, fact. So when I say we could have nuclear war and Biden could start it because he doesn't want to give up the White House, the Democrats don't want to give up D.C., they can't take a chance that they could be arrested and prosecuted for outright fucking treason the last 4 years. Not to mention abandoning $85 billion in military hardware and valuable in Afghanistan. Also, the deaths of so many Americans because of it. And yeah, Biden is now leaving with his tail between his fucking legs and abandoning millions and millions and millions and tens of millions of fucking dollars in military equipment, hardware in the base in Niger. And what about the 1,000+ soldiers there and airmen? Have they been evacuated, or are they fucking left behind to rot too? We may never know. Because we don't know how many Americans were left behind, civilians in Afghanistan, by Biden. It's fucking beyond disgusting, folks. So this saber rattling with nuclear weapons in Europe, if someone flinches, if someone says boo, we could have a launch, and the so-called victors who think they can win a nuclear exchange will end up all being crispy critters. But as many politicians as you could hope would die from that, there'll be millions of innocent civilians. Remember, just yesterday, that little sausage-smoking, light in the loafers, skinny jeans wearing, comedian, actor, dancer, that guy, Voldemort Zelensky, wants to use American missiles to shoot into Russia. He's supposed to be out of power. He's supposed to be done, gone. He doesn't want to leave that power. He doesn't want to leave his office because once he's gone, he's no longer useful. And do you think the Democrats, do you think the Rhino Republicans, do you think the European scumbags who have all laundered their money through Ukraine, do you think they're going to let Zelensky live to tell the tale, to spill the beans? Not a fucking chance. Oh, but that's all conspiracy talk, John. It's all conspiracy talk, man. You guys talk a bunch of shit, but where's your proof? They're admitting it. They continue to admit it. James Comey, former FBI director, who shit all over Trump, let Hillary Clinton run free after committing felonies, is on the news today lying his fucking ass off again. I wish I could meet James Comey and just fucking beat the living shit out of him in a boxing match that we both agree to happily, where we wear gloves and there's a referee. See how I did that? James Comey is out there telling everybody on the news, through the media, through the news channels, through television, satellite, that if Trump wins, he is going to prosecute everybody who committed crimes. Now, why is that such a bad thing? Oh, they're not saying it like that. They're like, he's going to go after his political enemies. Oh, you mean, James, the way Biden has gone after Trump, and Biden has gone after Trump's allies? Right? All of the attorneys, all of the workers, all of the administration, from Dr. fucking Atlas to who else? General Flynn to who else? Peter Navarro went after scumbag Fauci in person, in his face, and shut him down. He is in jail. For what? For being an American and calling for freedom and liberty, truth, honor, decency? Folks, shit has hit the fan, and we're going to see more of it. In fact, let me give you a taste of Biden's bullshit before I get to your questions. The federal government has banned a Memorial Day event, an event that was being organized to honor the heroes of America at our national cemetery. And the government has denied it and said it's a demonstration. They categorized it as a demonstration. Oh, so honoring our fallen warriors is a demonstration, and it's denied. But flagites can parade in the open with open groin, assless leather chaps in front of children in every city across America. And that's not a demonstration. That's a parade. That's a rally. That's fun. That's great. But to honor our nation's heroes and veterans, that's a demonstration. Unfucking conscionable. They spit in your face and they piss on the graves of heroes. Fuck these people. I've had it with them. Okay, here we are. We're back. Mr. Uman's in charge behind the scenes. He's got the big blue wrench. Chin Music wants to start off the day. He's going to bring some humor and a smile to my face. Thank you, Mr. Chin Music. He says, all I hope is we make it through Pride Month so I can use all my memes. The memes have already started, man. They've already started. These rainbow tie-dyed, Lord help me, these sick bastards out there. They've already started. It's already begun. Chin Music. I do enjoy laughing at them, and I love the memes, but they're not shutting up. They're not going away. Period. And they're putting themselves squarely in the crosshairs of people they proclaim that they're trying to help. The ham-ass types. The ham-ass types. The terrorists pretending to be Americans, pretending to really enjoy them. They've stated in unequivocal terms that they're going to eradicate the fruitcakes. Isn't that right, ham-ass? We promise not to hurt anybody. We like freedom of speech. No, you don't. No, you don't. We know. All right. Pig is out. Mr. Uman, where do we go next? Okay. Uman says, saw a great story about how a tranny got booed after winning a girls' track race in Oregon. People interviewed were saying, we're done with this stupidity. I actually covered that 2 days ago. Now, I know, Mr. Uman, you're busy duking it out in the comment section as a moderator, which I can't thank you enough for. But yeah, this trans fruitcake had a set of lubricated ball bearings and a stick shift, and he smoked all of the real women. Yeah, don't worry. He had little itty bitty titty knobbies that were there because of his hormones he was taking. But every single trans male athlete that competes against girls absolutely destroys them because they're not girls. They're losers who have a political agenda and a desire for gratification and acceptance. And they'll do anything and say anything to get it. And people, folks, not just me and you, not just crazy, wild-eyed, conspiratorial, rich patriots and veterans, not just us, but regular people have had it with this stupidity. They're done. They're sick and tired of the pandering horse shit coming out of the mainstream media. Fuck them. States are passing laws to protect children from trans surgery and trans advice and trans doctors, what they call trans care or gender care or gender affirming care. It's all a bunch of fucking lies. All of it. Our enemies are laughing as this country destroys itself with this stupid shit. But don't worry, enemies of America, including the ones that are in this country. I believe, if I saw my statistics correctly, in America, for every 100 people alive, there are 120 or 130 guns, depending on which stats I look at. I'm sure if you count just the adults, there's 130 guns per 100 people. We have the guns. We have the training. We have what it takes to do this. It's going to get nasty and ugly, though, folks. I am sure every trans idiot will shave their purple fucking hair off their head to hide who and what they are. I'm sure they'll, right, instead of girls wearing bras that strap their boobs down, I'm sure the boys will strap their boobs down. And instead of doing the weenie tuck, shoving their testicles and their dick in their own asses, I'm sure they'll drop a potato in their pants and make it look like they're hung when the shit finally hits the fan fully. People have had it with this shit. We're done with this stupidity is going to be a war cry of every American who's had it with all this bullshit. And since when does the human race just do what they do? Castrate themselves, maim themselves, mutilate their own bodies, mutilate their minds with drugs. Since when? Well, to this degree, never. With this technological and biochemical and pharmaceutical technology, never to this degree, but it's happening. And every time, every empire fails, it's through the sexual deprivations and thievery out of government. Every fucking time. Well, let us continue if we shall. Let us continue. Mr. Uman, he says, name redacted has something to say. And he says, they have a command and control machine in place. What he's talking about is the socialist, fascist, communist, anti-American political machination system in Washington, D.C., where it is based. Command and control, you got a community organizer there, Barack Hussein Barry Soetoro Obama, who is not responsible for the efficiency and design of this. He was nothing more than an administrator of it and a useful tool and puppet of it. The people who really know what they're doing, folks, are bigger and smarter and more powerful than Obama. They've set this up not in the last 4 years, not in the last 20 years. It wasn't set up under Obama. It was set up long before Obama. It wasn't the Clintons. It wasn't George H.W. Bush. This has been a progressive, incremental infiltration into this country that goes back all the way to FDR and beyond, even to the bankers and socialists who funded the Nazi Party in the 1920s, who funded the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia, who funded the Chinese Maoist takeover. But in America, folks, we have a constitution. In America, we had morality, well, until the 1960s, when they banned prayer in school. Now, lately, people have said, well, fuck you, I'm going to pray anyways. And they tried stopping people from praying. The court said, hey, you can pray if you want, but the school can't mandate that you pray. The fight is on. The struggle is on. They have command and control in place, but it's not bulletproof. They have command and control in place, name redacted, with the most surveilled populace in human history. England has way more surveillance cameras. I was talking to some people today. And in other countries, like Germany, for example, you cannot leave, you cannot move without applying and the government knowing where you are at all times. They are much more surveilled than Americans. But they're asking us to surveil each other, to snitch on each other, to tattle, to attack, to harm, to cancel each other if they don't like what someone's doing or saying. So they're trying to get America to police itself into the woke world, where in other countries, no, they're more direct. We have a constitution. First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth, Fifth, Sixth, Seventh, Eighth, Ninth, 10th, 14th. I don't like any of them past 10 very much, but still, right? If I can use the 14th to bitch slap the federal government, I will. Now, name redacted says, those opposed have nothing. I'm going to disagree with you. And I appreciate the fact that you write these things, name redacted, because it's important to have the discussion and talk about our assets and liabilities as free people in America. You say the opposed have nothing. For every 100 Americans, there are at least 120 weapons. Shotguns, rifles, handguns, machine guns, fully automatic machine guns are in the public hands with the proper FFL licensing. We have ammunition. We don't have nothing. We have all the guns we need. What else do we have? We have our Declaration of Independence. It shows us the blueprints for telling the government to go fuck itself. And it outlines and lays out our rights and our duties should we choose to engage. To say we have nothing is incorrect, sir. We have the Articles of Confederation and also the United States Constitution, or the Constitution for these United States. It is the genesis and creation of the government under incredible limited circumstances was it to operate. And although the government has taken great pains and a long time to extend its power well out of Washington, D.C., we still have those rules, those concrete binding chains for the government. To say we have nothing is absolutely incorrect. And I don't see, again, I'm not picking on you, name redacted. What you're doing is offering me an opportunity to explain to people what they do have. You have a First Amendment right to speak. You have a Second Amendment right to defend yourself and the country. You have a right to protections against the government. So if the government acts outside those protections, you have every right to oppose it, whether you do it physically or in court. You make the choice. The courts are run by government judges, with government prosecutors, with hand-selected, government-loving idiot jurists. The government has all the money in the world and all the time in the world to incarcerate you, then prosecute you, and destroy you. If you want to allow them to arrest you, that's your choice. You don't have to allow them to arrest you, and you don't have to take their shit. I am not glamorizing violence or encouraging anyone to break any law, rule, statute, anything. I'm just telling you, you have the choice. We, you say, have nothing. I say we have all the cards. We're all individual, independent agents who can act on our own, in our own behalf and on the behalf of others. Just as the Second Amendment, you have a right to defend yourself and others. You don't have to get written fucking permission with a notary seal from somebody who is being assaulted in an attempted murder in order to defend them. You don't need their permission to defend them. You can just do it. We don't need permission to take America back from all of America. We can just do it. Now, when is that time? How do you know when the time is right? You'll know. Is it here yet? No. Is it getting closer? Yes. Is it imminent? Not really. But how quickly can tides turn? We'll find out. You say we have nothing. We have ourselves. We have each other. When you tell the government to fuck itself, you can communicate to other humans. And they have the choice to join you. We have free will. To say we have nothing is incorrect. The military is full of individuals. The civilian population, the government population, the military population, everyone has a choice. What side are you going to land on? What do you believe? See, they want you to believe that you have nothing, that you have no choice, that you can't stand up to the government or the military, that you can't stand up and battle in the courts, you can't fight it out, that you have no justification for your belief system, that freedom is just a dream, that it never really existed. The government gave you permission to think you're free. Government, folks, is a false god. It's a false idol. It's bullshit. All it is a paper tiger. Government's nothing. It's the people with guns that point them in your face. That is your real threat. And how many of those people are there that have guns that'll point them in your face? One or two. And if they are disappeared and they no longer exist because they were eradicated, then how many people will be free? Now, the thing is how do we live together as a free people in a civilized manner? Well, you need law and order and justice. Do we have law and order and justice in this country, or do we have something quite different at the moment? Name redacted. Name redacted says, you are correct, but without a structure, the citizen will likely fail. Americans are conditioned to need that. Americans are conditioned to need what? Structure? I see what you're saying. How do we get organized? Let's see. How many veterans out there are trained in organizational structure? If Americans are conditioned to need structure and follow orders, how many leaders are out here? Am I a leader? Are you a leader? Is Uman a leader? How many people lead through business operations, through sports, not to mention military organizational experience that's held by veterans, officers, enlisted, it doesn't matter. How easy is it for an intelligent person to train other intelligent people on how to conduct an operation? Okay, Americans and all humans are conditioned to need structure, organization, and leadership. All we have to do is turn that around and aim it at the objective, which is bringing the government under restraint again and putting it back in the cuffs and say, you are our servant. We are the masters. Structure is already here. People believe the government is good. It's supposed to help us. It's supposed to fix the roads and make sure the electricity's on. Well, the government isn't doing its job. So we just have to put that structure back into place. Right now, the government structure is destroying America. How far will it go before we turn it around, name redacted? I don't know. Are we there yet? No, things aren't bad enough. People get hungry. When family members start getting killed, when people are uncomfortable, too cold in the winter, too hot in the summer, that's when they get pissed off. We'll find out what happens. Our job, me and you, all of us, is to be prepared. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. That's our job. Be prepared. If you think we need structure, then start getting books on leadership, organization. Start studying civics. How do governments operate at the smallest level, to the state level, to the national level? How do you structure that and put it together? We've got lots of people, folks. The only people who know things aren't just those in charge now. There are a lot of people who have gotten into law, who have gotten into government, who said, you know what, they're a bunch of dirty fucking scumbags, and they get back out of it. I would be one of those people because it is so corrupt and filthy. And they are such lying, criminal scum and vermin in government. I didn't want to be part of it. But if you're going to get rid of the scum and vermin and they're there, they can be replaced with people who are moral. And if they can be held accountable, then government officials will not lie, cheat, and steal because they're being held accountable. We're seeing right now the least held accountable government structure and system the world has ever known, with the most wealth and the most power being exerted by the least moral and least decent people the world has ever seen. When a little chicken shit homosexual named Zelensky can ask the most powerful military in the world to use its missiles to attack another nuclear superpower, how fucking stupid are they? And they'll be even stupider if they're allowed to have those weapons and use them as they wish. That's how stupid everything is. Structuring government, businesses, and everything is not hard, right? We need to hold these people accountable, and whoever is back in charge, if we can bring this monster under control. It's not going to be easy because the people in charge don't want to give it up. And they lie, and they lie, and they lie. In fact, I want to give you a little proof that it's not just the Democrats and it's not just the Republicans, folks, right? Okay, rhinos are nothing but Democrat freaks. Any Republican who isn't an America First constitutionalist is a fucking Democrat in disguise. They're a bunch of carpet-bagging dickheads. In North Dakota, folks, North Dakota, not North Carolina, not northern Maryland, North Dakota. There is a congressional Republican candidate who is teamed up and is campaigning with none other than Dylan Mulvaney, the transgender, transsexual, Bud Light killing fruitcake activist. How can any of that point to the government being run by decent people or that there's a political party that is safe? There isn't. It's a uniparty and they all want to destroy this country. And the only thing making everything continue to run is that there was a structure in place that only has to be loosely followed for the system to work. Anyways, enough of my shit, right? Okay, Mr. Uman. Let's continue. I'm on my fucking horse today. Misty Cook steps in and says, John, I heard that the illegals coming in are UN troops waiting to be activated this fall when the next pandemic hits for martial law. Misty, I've heard the same things. I've heard that the UN is waiting in Canada and in Mexico, or it's waiting all over the world to step in and help. I've heard that. And that the next thing that they're going to use to take control again is another pandemic because people are stupid and they'll just bend over and take it in the ass again. When the government says, oh my God, we're all going to die from the flu again. And so everyone, it's the bird flu this time. It's the bird flu, not the bovine flu and not the pork flu, but the bird flu. Well, I'm not a bird. I'm not a chicken, right? So yeah, I've heard this too. And martial law. What would cause martial law? Me and you? No. Fruitcakes? Yes. Government? Yes. Government likes martial law. They all do. They all love to look at an emergency and use that as an excuse to hurt other people and to gain more power. And the illegals are here to cause trouble. You bet. I've heard all these things, but I'm not afraid, Misty. And I hope that you and everyone else aren't afraid because you understand what is being done. You're prepared in such a way that you can take care of it. Do you think these UN troops with their blue helmets, do you think they won't get shot at? I think the gangs of South Chicago would have a fucking field day because they know if they can kill the blue troops, the UN troops, they get to take possession of their full automatic machine guns and their little white UN troop carriers and fucking bullshit. Anyways, folks, I'm not afraid of UN troops. I don't think anyone really is. America hasn't had another army on its shores since the War of 1812. And what was done to those British armies in the War of 1812 was horrifying. President Andrew Jackson was an officer, and he fought against the British in New Orleans in the War of 1812. And there was no mercy for attacking America. And I will submit that whoever attacks America, once the fighting begins and Americans are pissed off and they have to join the fight, it won't be pretty, because there will be no rules of engagement with courts martial offense. If you dare raise your weapon and point it at the enemy who's shooting at you, but you can't shoot back, because rules of engagement say you need to have witnesses and a fucking signed affidavit and 3 officers witnessing the fact that you're being shot at before you can do anything. None of that bullshit. None of those fucking games. I'm in a great mood today. This is wonderful. Folks, the left are a bunch of sick bastards. Sick. I told you about, Dylan Mulvaney. He's going to help out fucking Rhino in North Dakota. Germany, folks. Other countries are all fucked up too. In fact, the country of Germany is going to reduce the sentences for possessors of child pornography. They're going to downgrade a felony to a misdemeanor in Germany. I wonder if that's so that politicians, lawyers, and immigrants will one day be captured and held accountable for their crimes, that they're hoping that it'll still be a misdemeanor when they get caught finally. It's just it's off the hook. The stupid is off the hook, folks. All right, let's continue. I know we got some more. I got 2 minutes left. Badass Diving Frog checks in. He says, John, I saw a leaked video of Biden saying there would be no more truckers in the future. I don't want autonomous vehicles on the highway with people. I don't either. None of us do. None of us. But what the government does, you can't, the country cannot work. It cannot exist. It cannot function. The structure, folks, the structure cannot support itself with autonomous driving vehicles. Biden's a fucking idiot. They're pipe dreams of an AI-controlled world with robots running everything. I mean, is it possible? It's possible. Is it likely? I don't know. Is it sustainable? I don't fucking think so. Oh, let me end this broadcast with a positive note. I've been very negative in my satirical presentation. In the Netherlands, the Dutch, the lower house of parliament has approved Geert Wilders' bill to make the phrase "from the river to the sea" a criminal offense to say those words, because it is a call to violence. We in America call that inciting violence. To the Dutch, it's call to violence is a crime. And so saying the words, uttering it, putting on a sign, "from the river to the sea." That was my heckle fish. "From the river to the sea." Impression. That's a call to violence. Now, me saying the words from the river to the sea is not a call to violence, because I'm not calling for people. I'm saying it's illegal to say that in a protest loudly, telling other people to say it, right? Anyways, I'm not in the fucking Netherlands anyways. But this is where we're at. People are fighting back. They're waking up. They're waking up, folks. A teenager went to Panera Bread, drank a charged lemonade, which has 237 milligrams of caffeine, like 2 cups of coffee. Well, the teenager that bought this had their heart stop. Right? Stop. But since when does caffeine cause heart failure in healthy people? Or could it be the Jim Jones juice? People are waking up to everything that's happening. More Jim Jones juice. 40-year-old professional wrestler died suddenly. He's a professional. Super athlete. Dies suddenly. Take a wild fucking guess. All right, folks, I'm going to let it go. Breathe in, breathe out. I'm going to go get a scotch and relax. You guys, I love you all. I love America. I love freedom. I love the fact that I can think, say, and do what I want, as long as I'm not hurting others and there's demonstrable evidence of injury, financial or property damage. Feelings don't fucking count, you fruitcakes. God bless America. Semper Fi. Declaration of Independence, Constitution, and your skills, your knowledge. That's what makes America great. So be proud of it and share it with everybody. God bless you all. Semper Fi. Chance favors the prepared mind.